Welcome everybody to Business Friday Review. Today we're going to be going down to what really matters in business, the numbers, the profitability, what sort of things are going to lead you in the right direction to increase your profits in the business. So here's the man of numbers, Andy Hemming. And I say that because he used to drill me on numbers and on and on and on about numbers.
That's very true. That's very true. And I think, one of the things that's come up quite a lot this week in a number of businesses is this, a lot of drama. How often are you getting drama in your business? And what's actually the cause of drama?
What do you mean drama?
Well, drama is where we tell a story where we think something might be true, and then it causes us to go off and run in all kinds of directions, scurrying around, and probably wasting time. What is it that causes that? Subjectivity. And what does subjectivity really mean? Well, that we haven't got the numbers in front of us, that we're not making decisions based on objective evidence, rather it's just based on gut feel. And guess what gut stands for? Gave up thinking. So, very simple. If we're not making decisions based on numbers and objective evidence, then it's going to put drama into our business. Now, the thing is, it's all very well to look at the profit and loss in the balance sheet. But let's be fair, those are things that have already happened. They're what we call lagging indicators. So they're the result, not the cause. So we've got to take this back to what causes the results that we get. And for me, the analogy that I use with clients is, if you think about losing weight, for example, how often do you stand on the scales? At least once a week, maybe more often. But essentially, if we don't jump on the scales for a couple of weeks, what tends to happen? Then the pounds have crept back.
We lose track, and when we do, we start crying that we've put so much weight.
Absolutely,
I've been there.
Haven't we all? So we call it slippage. Slippage happens when we're not measuring our results, and because that tends to happen incrementally, we can often have quite a lot of slippage before we actually realise it.
That's right.
So we have to put some methodologies in place to combat that and stop that slippage creeping into our business.
Okay. And how often do you see this happening?
All the time. All the time.
And on a percentage?
100.
100%?
100%.
100% of the clients that you come in here
will have some area of drama in their business because they're making decisions based on subjectivity rather than objectivity. So to give you an example, a couple of months ago, chatting with a client who was saying that they were having a disastrous year, and it was based on what the hearsay was in the business. When we actually took it back to the numbers, they were already 15% up in terms of nailed on results, and actually with the pipeline that was in front of them, probably 40% up year on year. But you can imagine what that level of, I'm having a terrible start to the year, what level of drama did that cause in their business? And actually it just wasn't true.
That's right, yeah. Okay, guys, we'll have a quick break now, but as soon as we come back, we're going to talk about some of the different areas that we can improve and how we can start to get more objective rather than subjective.
Right.
Catch you after the break.
How far are you going to take your business? The content you're learning in this video is only the tip of the iceberg. If you're ready to take your business to the next level and start implementing the right strategies that are right for you, then now is the time to book your complimentary coaching session. In the session, we explore what strategies will get you to where you want to be in the most effective way possible. Book your coaching session today. Call 01527 757 910 or visit goodtogreat.actioncoach.co.uk.
Welcome back, guys, to Friday Review. We're talking about numbers now and talking about how we can create more predictable numbers in our business and use that prediction to actually plan how we can strategize and create more profitability in the business. So, a very unique lessons today about profitability, very important.
Absolutely, and not just profitability. One of the things that when I first start working with somebody, we talk about is getting their bubbles in balance. Now, what do I mean by getting their bubbles in balance? If you think about the business, there's three elements to it, aren't there? There's the operational element, that's the stuff, and then there's the financial control element, and then there's the sales and marketing element. Now, if you wanted to link that back to the E-Myth, which is a brilliant book on building businesses, which you should all read, by the way, the technician, the person who does the stuff, that links very much to operations. The manager links to finance, controlling the business, and the entrepreneur links to sales and marketing in terms of growth of the business. Now, what do we mean by the bubbles, getting the bubbles in balance? Well, if you think about it, when I go into most businesses, if we take the size of the bubble as the amount of focus which is going into, the operational bubble looks like this. Mm-hmm. The finance bubble is about this big, and the sales and marketing one's about this big.
Right.
Now, if you think about that disparate focus across those three areas, how can you have a consistently growing and profitable business? So what we talk about is getting the bubbles in balance, i.e. operations bubble this size, finance bubble this size, sales and marketing bubble this size, i.e. similar or same amount of focus on each of those three areas to create that consistency. How do we do that? Well, we set up a dashboard. And that dashboard is a weekly or monthly measure of a certain set of results throughout the three areas of the business to give us idea of where the slippage is happening.
Why dashboard? Why is it called a dashboard?
Well, when you get in your car, what do you look at to tell you how the car's performing?
Okay, yeah.
So essentially the dashboard is how to read your business vehicle on one piece of paper, in the same way as your car dashboard is the way to read your vehicle on one piece of screen.
That's it, really. I mean, the business is the vehicle too.
Of course it is.
You know, unless we have that dashboard. And interesting.
So we've got to pick a set of key measures which indicate our operational effectiveness, our sales and marketing effectiveness, i.e. lead generation and sales process effectiveness, and our financial effectiveness in terms of how we're controlling the cash cycle within the business. And we should be measuring those on a weekly basis, because then we can see whether they're staying the same, improving, or hopefully not getting worse. But the point is, if they are getting worse, we catch them early. Whereas in the example we talked about before the break of, not getting on the scales for a couple of months, how often have you found that you got on the scales and gone, holy, how did that happen? That slippage is its worst, and that can happen in businesses too, and I've seen it plenty of times.
So businesses that aren't doing this right now, that aren't measuring the numbers, what happens as a result of that? You said about the slippage in the business, but do people come across as like kind of in denial about these figures? Do they just presume that these are right? How do they accurately measure them?
Well, a lot of people don't. That's the fact. And the thing for me is, if you're measuring or not measuring, let's say you're not measuring, stuff might be going really well, but how do you know what's going well if you're not measuring it? So how do you do more of it to create more scalability?
Exactly.
If you are measuring it, then you can do more of what works and stop doing what doesn't work. It's very simple. So it brings more efficiency to your business.
We were talking earlier on that with this stuff, by the way, guys, Andy's system has like 400 plus different ways of doing this. And they can all be, the idea is that they're all measured to see what works to fit which scenario. So, he's done this with multiple businesses, really, and there's always something that can be measured.
Absolutely.
So if you're out there thinking, that won't work for me, I can't measure that certain area, there's always something that can be measured and always something can be grown. If you can't measure it, you can't grow it.
Absolutely. And my big question on that would be, if you don't think it could work for you, the first question would be, when was the last time you tried? Mm-hmm. And the next question would be, how could you make it work for you? Because,
absolutely.
The stuff we're talking about on these videos is applicable to every single business because they're all built on the same chassis.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up now. The stuff that Andy spoke about today, absolutely critical, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. If you want to have a chat with Andy and go into more detail about how these things can apply specifically to your business, then visit the website goodtogreat.actioncoach.co.uk, and there's a free complimentary session on there. Click on that and book in a call with Andy. It doesn't cost you anything. You just basically talk with Andy like you are right now, but what about your business instead? Make sure you make that happen. Why wait?